Today, I'm handing you every single thing I do to look 10 years younger without going under the knife. And the thing that I did to my under eyes that I would undo tomorrow if I could. The one that everybody raves about that's good, it is good, but it's not going to turn back the hands of time. Think of it as a facelift on an installment plan. No knife required. Remember I told you that the most important thing isn't on the list? Well, this is it. I'm 48 and I always get asked if I've had a facelift here in the comments. I haven't, but I'm going to. And today I'm handing you every single thing I do instead, the whole arsenal I use to look 10 years younger without going under the knife. Now, I'm a skincare founder. I am a certified clinical nutritionist, and I've spent over $1 million, I know, judge me, figuring out what actually works on my face. So here's all of it: the injectables, the lasers, the biostimulators that build back your own collagen, the laser everyone in beauty raves about that will not get you 10 years younger, no matter what they tell you. Trust me on this. I'm going to tell you which one it is. And the one thing that I did to my own under eyes that I will never, ever, ever do again. So buckle up, it's gonna be a good one. Hey there, I'm Cynthia Garcia, your foul-mouthed fairy godmother. I grew up dirt poor in Appalachia. I dumpster dived for makeup and I got called ugly enough times that I started to believe it. Then I made me some money and I spent it figuring out how to be hot as fuck at any age. This is I'd Like to Thank Myself, the show where I try every peptide, procedure, and product so you don't have to, and then tell you what's worth it and what to leave where you found it. Now, before we get into it, a quick disclaimer. I cuss like a sailor a lot. That's just how I talk. Now, if that's not for you, that's cool, but this is your stop. And if you stay with me, then be cool about it. Don't come at me in the comments because I just fucking warned you. And if you are staying, grab a drink because we have got some shit to talk about. Now, a good chunk of you in the comments are convinced that I am lying about having a facelift. There's like a whole investigation happening, freeze framing my jaw like it's a true crime documentary that they are determined to solve. So let me just settle it for you, okay? Bitch, I tell you everything. Last week, I talked about my clitoris on this show. Do you really think I would hide a facelift? Trust and believe you will be the first to know as soon as that shit happens. I'll be on here with bandages and all kinds of shit. So why haven't I done it yet? That's the real story. And it starts on my 40th birthday. So I'm going to give you some context so you get it, and then the rest is going to make sense. The day I turned 40, my phone lit up with birthday text. And at first I was like, oh yay, people celebrating me. No, these text messages said shit like, enjoy becoming invisible. It's all downhill from here. And these were people I knew. These were my friends, typing it like a joke, but meaning it like a fact. That's the day I started my skincare company, Rewritten. And I did it to, yes, rewrite the signs of aging, but also these crazy ass stories that we tell about it. Listen, spite is a hell of a motivator, I'll tell you that. But here's the thing that it took me years to see. That text, enjoy becoming invisible, wasn't a birthday card. It was an eviction notice. It's the world telling a woman over 40, there's the door, and if you could take up less space on your way out, that would be great. Thanks, bitch, bye. And they hand you exactly two ways, just two, to leave. You can disappear quietly and call it aging gracefully, or you can get carved up like a pumpkin and hope you still recognize yourself on the other side. You choose. Well, I didn't like either of those options, so I made a new one. And yes, I'm going to get a facelift. Judge me. I've got a whole research folder with surgeons, techniques, deep plane versus SMAS, the whole plan. I mean, you would think I was researching a cure for cancer, but I'm not. It's just my base. But everything I'm doing between now and then is me making the eventual surgery easier and better. Because I mean, hi, who doesn't want that, right? Because the work leading up to the facelift and the surgery itself those were never enemies. They're a sequence. Every serum, every laser, every peptide I use, that's me prepping the canvas so that when a surgeon finally does touch my face, they have less to fix and I walk out still looking like me. So, no, I'm not disappearing or aging gracefully, as the media likes to call it. And I'm also not going to panic buy a new face to prove that I'm still here. There's a third way that I told you about, and today I'm going to walk you through the entire thing, starting with this. You got to get the timing right. Listen, a facelift has a right window, and it's earlier than your mother thought, but later than the panic buying. So if you go too late, you're getting a bigger operation that fixes damage instead of preventing it. But if you go too early, you're cutting into skin that, well, didn't need cutting into. It's interesting because there's a study that followed facelift patients for over 12 years. A year out from their surgery, almost 98% were thrilled. A decade later, 68% said it was still beyond what they expected and took 10 years or more off of how young they looked. Though about a third could still find something to be unhappy about because we fucking always do, right? Hand me a flawless result and I'll find the one pore that betrayed me. You know how we are. We're just like that. But here's the thing that changed how I think about my own face. The people in that study who did it younger with less damage to fix, they got the best results and they kept them the longest. Why? Well, because younger tissue heals better and it holds up better. One surgeon called it compounding. Subtle now, but a bigger payoff later. So the smart move was never early or late, it's right on time. And everything that I'm telling you about today is buying me that time so that when I finally walk in, there's less to fix and it lasts longer. You get it? You get it. None of this is me chasing my 20s. Fuck that shit. That was a crazy time. It's me refusing to disappear on a schedule that somebody else set. Okay, so here's the 10 things I'm doing on my way to the operating room, plus the one that matters more than all 10 and isn't even on the list. Now, that includes the laser that everybody swears by that is not going to get you 10 years younger. Trust me on this one. And the thing that I did to my under eyes that I would undo tomorrow if I could. But first, let's start with the category of biostimulators. So I've got a few items out of the 10 in biostimulators. Now, you need to know that biostimulators do not fill you in, right? They're not like mortar or whatever what do they put in bricks? I don't know. What is that called? You get it. They don't fill you in. They tell your face to build its own collagen back. So think of it as a facelift on an installment plan. Slow from the inside, no knife required. So number one in this tier, and number one on my whole list here, is the one doing the heaviest lifting, and that is Sculptra. Now, people hear Sculptra and they think filler. It's not filler. Filler sits there and plumps up a spot. But Sculptra is a collagen stimulator, which means it doesn't do the work. It tells your body to do the work over the next few months. And I will be honest about how that actually feels because I don't feel like anyone warned you. So you go in, you pay a small fortune, and you walk out looking exactly the same. I know. You might have a little puffiness and fullness from the swelling and the immediate effects, and then you end up spending 2 weeks thinking that you got robbed. Then, around month 2, your face fills back in, and it goes so slow that everybody decides that you just must be sleeping good. And me being me, I let them think it because, fuck it, why not? That's not a side effect. That is Sculptra. It is the opposite of instant. And that's exactly why it looks like nothing was done. Nobody can point at the day your face changed because there wasn't one. It was gradual. Now, one thing that actually matters here, this whole rebuild is your body making new collagen, and it needs stuff to make it out of. So protein and vitamin C, that's the raw material. So while your biostimulators are working, make sure you're getting both. You paid to switch this thing on. Now give it what it actually needs to build. Next is Microneedling with PRFM, the second thing I do as I plan a facelift in the next few years. This is my recovery and repair step. So here's the plain version. They take a little bit of your blood, they spin it down to the part that's packed with the growth factors, and then they push it back into your skin through the microneedling channels. So you're not putting a product in your face, you're putting your own healing factors back in. It's the one procedure where the active ingredient is just you. It's just you. Your skin heals like it's 25 for a while because you handed it the exact instructions that it has forgotten how to write. All right, number 3 is PRF Easy Gel and the under eye thing that I will never do again. So under my eyes right now, I use PRF Easy Gel. Like a lot of people ask me about this, that's the secret. It's the same idea as the PRFM, your own blood, but spun into a gel that fills and stimulates collagen at the same time. It's mine, so there's nothing to reject, nothing to go sideways. And when it starts going away, it just goes away gradually. There's no lumps, there's no migrating, no filler that overstays its welcome. But what I didn't do was start there. And I should have, I know, I fucked up. But I instead got regular filler under my eyes. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I love that shit. I loved it. It looked great. I had zero complaints about how it looked. But then, because I'm me, I started reading about how risky that area actually is. Turns out the under eye is one of the highest risk zones on the whole face for vascular occlusion, which is filler blocking a blood vessel. And in the worst documented cases, the worst ones, I'm not trying to scare you, filler near the eyes has caused blindness. I know it's rare, okay, but it is real and it is permanent. So look, I'm not telling you what to do with your own face, your eyes, your choice. But once I knew that, for me, under eye filler stopped being worth it. It just, hi. But not when PRF can get me most of the way there without betting my eyesight on it. So that's what I go with now. Okay, a quick note. If you're taking notes right now, the Vanity Club is where I break all of this down. The peptides and what they do, the lasers worth the downtime and the ones that aren't, the at-home devices for the nights in between, and how the whole thing fits together so you're not out here buying random shit off an Instagram reel and just hoping and praying. If you want to come join us, the link is in the description. Okay, so biostimulators build the collagen underneath. And then we get lasers. This is tier 2 for me. Lasers work the surface that it all shows up on. And I have done a lot of them, like a shit ton of them. Here are 4 that earned their place. And the one that everybody raves about that's good, it is good, but it's not going to turn back the hands of time in any significant way. And it is certainly not something you would do instead of a facelift. So if that's what you're looking for, you're not going to waste your money. So the first laser, and number 4 on this list, is the heavy hitter. I love this bitch. I love it. I would marry and have its babies. I love it so much. And that is CO2 and erbium together. So I guess it's technically 2 lasers, but you do them at the same time, so whatever. This is ablative resurfacing, a fancy way of saying that it vaporizes the very top layer of your skin so that you rebuild it smoother, tighter, and more even. Now, here's what I want you to know about this one. The deeper your provider goes, the longer you're down and out. Now, I went really deep last year, like to hell. And from the day of the laser to being fully healed was like a little more than 3 months. 3 months. That is not a long weekend. That is a whole season of your life. I healed through an entire wardrobe change and 2 holidays looking like I lost a fight with a creme brulee torch. So if you don't have that kind of downtime, talk to your provider about turning the settings down. Just know that you're trading result for recovery. It's still great. It's just not the same face that you'd get if you were able to go deeper and had more recovery time. So what I'm doing is I'm going deep every couple of years, and then in between, I keep up with the lighter version maybe once a year. Number 5 is one of my all-time favorite lasers. Again, I love this bitch too. It's V-beam, and I use it for redness. Now, if you flush, if you run a little pink, if you've got some little broken capillaries around your nose or on your face, this is the one that erases all of that shit. Listen, For me, redness isn't just a skin thing. It is a getting misread thing. Like you walk in perfectly calm and somebody goes, "Oh, honey, are you okay?" Yes, Susan, this is just my fucking face. I don't know. I've got fair skin that flushes at nothing. A glass of wine, spicy food, seeing Lenny Kravitz walk down the road. Is that just me? It might just be me. Is my husband going to see this? Is he going to? I don't know. Anyways, I light up like I've got a secret. V-Beam goes after the redness and those little broken capillaries that I mentioned and gets rid of them like a magic eraser. Now, I get it done every 3 months, and I do it at the same time as I do the next laser on this list. And I walk out looking like I finally stopped feeling all my feelings in public. Okay, number 6 is PicoSure for pigmentation. So sunspots, the brown patches, the freckly damage that showed up in your 40s, this little mama shatters that pigment into tiny little pieces. Kind of like what would happen if you handed Jason Momoa something fragile and asked him to hold it. Then your body just comes along, pushing a little tiny broom and just sweeps that shit away. So this is the laser that we use to undo all the damage from all those years ago. For every summer that we spent basting ourselves in baby oil with a fucking tinfoil reflector under our chins, praying to baby Jesus to get as dark as humanly possible. Do you remember those days? Was that just me? No? You get it. Well, baby Jesus came through, and I've been paying my dermatologist to undo his miracle ever since. Okay, now the one I promised that's not on this list technically, but I think you should know about it anyway, is Clear and Brilliant. Now, listen, everybody raves about this laser, and if your goal is looking 10 years younger, it's not going to do it for you, at least not on its own. I like to call it the gateway laser. It's gentle, it's easy, it makes you feel like you did something. People book it expecting to walk out a different woman, and instead, they walk out looking like themselves on a really good day. Now, if that's what you wanted, it's a win, 100%. But if you thought you were buying a new face, you didn't get robbed, you just asked for the wrong thing, which is why I'm telling you about it now so you don't waste your fucking money, Susan. It is not a before and after laser. It's an I aged really well laser. And my favorite thing to use it for is prevention. So for all my girls here in their 30s, listen to this. Every woman should have this laser on her radar starting in her late 30s before there's visible damage to chase. A series of 4 to 6, start there, and maintain it quarterly, and your skin just quietly keeps looking better year after year. And for me, so that's, prevention and maintenance, but for me, what I really love it for is like a pre-event glow. One session a week or two before a wedding, a photo shoot, a special event. There's lower risk than a peel and less downtime than, say, microneedling, and it's more predictable than some glow facial. For me, that's the move. And one honest thing, because these lasers do not behave the same on everyone's skin. So if your skin is deeper or more melanated, kind of the opposite of me, well, some of these, especially the ablative resurfacing and the pigment lasers, they carry real risk of pigment going the wrong way. Think dark spots that stick around instead of fading. So find a provider who treats your skin tone all day, every day, not one who's about to start practicing on you. Okay, and those are all the lasers that I use. You know that phrase, you've aged really well? The one that people hand you like it's luck? It was never luck. It's a calendar full of appointments and a woman who decided she was worth keeping them. Luck didn't do this. I did. So the next group on my list is injectables. Okay, so biostimulators we talked about, they rebuild collagen. Then we talked about lasers. They work on the surface. Injectables handle movement and structure. And I want to say this clearly because it's where everybody starts to panic. None of this has to make you look done. Done is a choice. Usually the choice to not stop when you should have. So number 7 on the list is Botox. Yes, I do Botox and I fucking love it. It's like literally probably my favorite thing in the whole wide world. I use it on my face and I do it lightly because I still want my face to be able to move. And the goal was never to look permanently surprised at my own life. I want to look like I've had a good one, not like I just walked in on it doing something inappropriate. So I get a little Botox in the right spots to soften the lines that make me look tired. I get it in my forehead and I do it high so there's no eyelid drooping. I get it around my eyes for my crow's feet, between my brows for the 11s, and around my lips for the smoker lines I never earned but fucking somehow got anyway. And then the next thing that I do with Botox, you're going to love. It's called a Nefertiti neck lift. Have you ever done this? Okay, so here's the deal. There is this big flat muscle in your neck called the platysma. You got these platysma bands, right? And somewhere in your 40s, its whole focus becomes kidnapping your jawline and taking it south for the winter with no plans to ever come back. And the thing that you need to know is this. It's not your skin doing that. It is the muscle pulling down, and that we can fix. You put a little Botox into that muscle to release the pull, and you inject your jawline, and the jaw just lifts right back up on its own. So I do this a few times a year, and my injector nails it every single time. I get asked a lot about my jawline. This is the main thing I do for it. And there's one other thing that I want to tell you that I do for it, and that is next. Okay, the number 8 thing I do as I plan a facelift in the next few years is filler. No, not the kind from a few years ago where you look like, you know what you look like. The secret to filler is this. Injecting is important. Yes, you have to choose your injector wisely, but also it's the stopping. Anybody can add more, but almost nobody knows when to quit. When filler is done right, nobody knows you've had anything done. But when it's done wrong, you look like you're smuggling grapes in your face. So I use a little bit in the right spots, and then my injector puts the syringe down and walks the fuck away. So where do I do it? Well, I do it in my cheekbones because I want to, lift. And then the back of the jawline to snatch that little bitch right there, right? That's the other thing that I do for my jawline. And I do a little bit in my chin because she's shy and she kind of likes to hide a little bit. It's like when my daughter, Rain, was a little baby. She was a little bit shy and she'd hide behind my leg. My chin is trying to do that, except it's trying to hide behind my neck. So I just give it a little filler to pull it out and again, snatch my jawline. And that is all I do. And that brings us to number 9, my eyebrows. I get asked about this a lot too. So I got them nanobladed, which is the finer, softer cousin of microblading. And it's just hair thin strokes that fill them back in because we plucked ours into oblivion in 1997, Susan. And some of them held a grudge and went, you know what? Fuck this. Love you. Bye. And they never came back. They never came back, which honestly, it brings up a real question in this whole episode. Between the baby oil and the tinfoil and the eyebrows, who the fuck was supervising us in the 90s? Like it was 10 p.m. and nobody knew where their children were. And clearly nobody cared. Like nobody cared. Where were we? Well, we were in the fucking bathroom plucking our eyebrows out. Anyways, brows frame the whole face, and getting mine back did more for looking rested than half the lasers on this list. So between the Botox lift and the nanoblading, they sit higher than they have in 20 years. Now, a lifted brow reads awake, rested, and interested, right? Like you're just turned on. Turns out the whole time I thought I needed some sleep, I just needed to grow my eyebrows back, or at least have somebody else make it look like I did. All right, if you're still here with me, God bless you. It's great. And if you're like, fuck yeah, this is so helpful, then go ahead and subscribe. You know you want to, because this is what I do here every single week. I go try all the stuff so you don't have to, and then I tell you the truth about whether it was worth it or whether it wasn't. Okay, let's get back to the list. All right, number 10 is facials. I know I told you they weren't sexy, but stay with me. So I get facials monthly usually, unless I'm doing a laser or something like that, and then I won't. And I don't get one specific kind of laser. It just kind of depends on what my face is needing at that point in time. So it could be an oxygen facial, a hydrofacial, whatever it is that, again, I need. It's kind of like I look at facials like an oil change for my face. Nobody's impressed, but if you put it off long enough, something expensive will break. Now, real talk, a facial is not taking 10 years off of anybody, but quiet, consistent upkeep is a big part of why the heavy treatments have less to fix when I go in to get them. Everything compounds. Okay, now let's get to the foundation. Remember I told you that the most important thing isn't on the list? Well, this is it. And it's the one nobody wants because you can't book it and be done by Friday. It doesn't even get a number. Fuck it. I'm just not going to give it a number because it's not one of the things. It's the ground that all 10 things stand on. So none of the stuff I just told you is going to matter if your insides are falling apart. You can spend $10,000 on your face or fuck it, more like I have, and it will still look tired if your hormones are shot, if you're not getting enough protein to build the collagen you just paid to stimulate, if you're running on 4 hours of sleep and a vat of coffee. All right, real quick, everything I use, the products, the procedures, the peptides, the actual brands and names, all of it lives inside the Vanity Club. This video is what I do, and the club is exactly how I do it. So if you want all my secrets in one place, that's where they are. The link is in the description, and I will see you there. So here's my actual foundation, and I'm just going to hit it and quit it because every one of these, I swear to God, is a whole episode on its own. So let me just go through them. My hormones are handled. I'm on hormone replacement therapy. I use estrogen right on my face. Your skin has a shit ton of estrogen receptors. So honestly, why the fuck not? And all of the rest of it. So I eat for my skin. I eat lots of protein because collagen does not build out of thin air. I take my supplements. I move my body because honestly, muscle is its own kind of anti-aging. And I sleep like it's an Olympic sport. So again, not sexy, kind of like facials, but this is the part that makes everything else work. The face, all the stuff I mentioned to you, that's the paint, but this is the frame and the foundation of the house. And here's what it took me years to understand. Doing all of this, the hormones, the food, the lasers, all of it, was never about clawing my way back to 25. I told you, I did 25. It was a great fucking time, but I am not trying to go back. I'm trying to be undeniable now at 48 and 58 and every year after. I'm not doing this because I'm scared of getting older. I love getting older. I love stacking those years. I hate aging. Aging is the villain, and I will fight that fucker every single day. But getting older, that is a gift. And those two things are completely different. I do all of this because somewhere back there, they handed me two options: disappear quietly or get carved up. So I looked at both of them, like I said, and I just said, no, there is a third way, and this is it. Now, you don't need my research folder or my budget to do these things. You just have to decide, like I did, that taking up less space was never going to be the plan. Judge me all you want. I'll be over here hot as fuck at every age that I am lucky enough to get. And one more thing before I raise a glass. Everything I do at home, the stuff that needs no appointment and no chair, that is a completely separate video, and it's coming, so stay tuned for that. That video is for the woman that's sitting here watching this who says, how can I just do this though at home on my own time for less money? So subscribe so you don't miss that episode. And that is it. Now it's time for a toast. So raise a glass. Don't make me do it alone. Ashley, pick up a glass. Okay, a toast. I'd like to thank myself for getting my facelift on my terms and my timeline, not because a text on my birthday decided my time was now. A toast for every appointment, every recovery, every 3 months of looking like a peeled tomato so I could keep looking like me. For refusing both the disappearing act and the panic facelift and building a third way when nobody handed me one. Raise a glass. A toast to whoever was supposed to be watching us in the 90s and clearly wasn't. You know what? You were doing the best you could, and now we are too. To my daughter, Rain, who gets to grow up watching me love myself out loud so nobody ever has to teach her how. And to the woman who read, "Enjoy becoming invisible," and for 1 second wondered if they were right. They weren't. So, to who we were, to who we are, and to the hottest fuck versions of ourselves we are becoming. For that and so much more, I'd like to thank myself. Cheers. Gotta go update my research folder. Get my eyebrows to grow back.